All right, today marked the 18th consecutive day that the people were effectively locked out of the people's house. Yes, at this very hour, the White House remains closed to you, the public, and according to President Panic, it's all because of the sequester. However, considering the fact that the Obama administration is saving only $74,000 a week by canceling tours of the executive mansion, tonight we thought we'd take a closer look at the lavish lifestyle of both the Obamas and the Bidens, because while field trips for kids are called off, the limousine liberals that occupy the West Wing, well, let's just say they're not exactly doing their fair share to cut costs. Now, consider this. As the Weekly Standard writes, in the first 3 months of the year, members of the first family have been on 3 vacations, averaging a vacation a month. Now, they kicked off 2013 with a trip to Hawaii that the White House dossier blog estimates cost taxpayers upwards of $7 million. Then, in honor of President's Day, the first couple decided to go on separate vacations. Michelle Obama, she took the kids skiing in Colorado while her husband was out golfing with Tiger Woods in Florida. Now, sadly, the first family does not have a monopoly on wasting your money. Now, the Bidens have perfected that craft as well. As we reported last night, the combined total of the vice president's hotel tabs in Paris and London was over $1 million taxpayer dollars. Now, today we're learning that that was just the beginning of his long list of expenses. Now, according to a federal website, the limousine service used by Crazy Uncle Joe in France cost you, the taxpayers, a staggering $321,000. It appears Joe Biden has graduated from the days of slumming it on Amtrak with the commoners. Joining me now with reaction, former chair of the President's Council, Economic Advisors, professor at the University of Chicago Business School, Austin Goolsbee, who will help get us into this economic mess himself. How are you?
Hey, Sean. Well, thank you for that introduction. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. All right, now, how many vacations, Austin, have you taken in the last couple of years?
I take about 1 vacation a year.
Yeah, 1 vacation a year. All right, so we got Hawaii for the first family. Then we got Michelle and the kids go skiing, and he goes to play golf with Tiger. Now the girls are on spring break. You add it all up, we pay for this. $180,000. Excuse me. 4 vacations combined.
I feel bad for giving you credit. You told me this the last time I was on.
Yeah.
And I said, man, maybe he's right. So I went and looked it up. And it turns out President Obama's had 128 days of vacation since he became president. And George W. Bush had 1,020 days of vacation.
Listen, first of all, he was president 8 years. Number 2,
he had the most vacation of any president of all time.
He went to his ranch in Texas, which was the equivalent of going to Camp David.
How did he get there?
Hang on a second. Hang on.
Sean, how did he get there?
Well, let's use. Hang on a second. Let's use Obama's standard for vacations. Let's go back. I'm going to take you down a trip down memory lane. Let's listen to then Senator Barack Obama lecture about vacations.
Essentially, the bargain that any president, I think, strikes with the American people is you give me this office, and in turn, my fears, doubts, insecurities, foibles, need for sleep, family life, vacations, leisure is gone. I mean, I am giving myself to you, and the American people should have no patience for whatever's going through your head, because you've got a job to do.
All right, the office, let's see, foibles, need for sleep, family life, vacations, ding, 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 ding. Leisure is gone. Well, let's take a look at how many times the anointed one played golf since he's been president. Latest count, you include the Tiger round, that's 118 rounds of golf. Now, here's the difference with President Bush, too. You know what? We now have 20 million Americans on food stamps, additional Americans, 50 million total, 1 in 6 Americans in poverty, and we have 14 million Americans on disability since he became president. You know what? He seems out of touch with the suffering that he's caused.
Why would you do that? Why would you change the subject? I just told you he has the lowest number of vacation days of any 2-term president in the last half century.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe this for a second. The vacation days of George W. Bush.
George Bush would take a month in August when he'd be in that's 1 trip there and back. This extravagant. Wait a minute. Hang on. They have to take separate planes to Martha's Vineyard.
You think that's fine?
They have to take separate planes to Martha's Vineyard, separate vacations. The kids go on vacation, and the rest of us eat cake.
the vacation that George Bush took. Look, I was born in Waco, Texas. It's right down the street from Crawford. I'm telling you, the man was on vacation a lot more than
Americans
President Obama
are suffering like never before, Austin.
And the vice president, look, I agree with that. But the vice president's motorcade, it turns out that's not a thing you can go get a coupon for on Orbitz. What do you want the guy to do? You want him to get rid of the bulletproof glass to save money?
I'll give him go to mypc.com. He's going to save us a lot of money. And the HD video is better than the satellite shot I got of you.
Next thing you're going to say, we got the national park shot. Let's go strip mine Yosemite to get granted for our kitchen countertops to save some money.
Let's watch Obama go after jet owners at a 2011 press conference, because boy, he's got a very different criteria when it comes to his lavish lifestyle. By the way, I didn't include the concerts. I didn't include the parties. I didn't include the trips to New York to go to Broadway shows. But watch this.
Look, then don't ask.
The tax cuts I'm proposing, we get rid of, are tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires, tax breaks for oil companies and hedge fund managers and corporate jet owners. And before we ask our seniors to pay more for health care, before we cut our children's education, before we sacrifice our commitment to the research and innovation that will help create more jobs in the economy, I think it's only fair to ask an oil company or a corporate jet owner that has done so well to give up that tax break that no other business enjoys.
And by the way, I Googled your little statistic on Bush. I don't get the same number that you do, but that's a different side. Why is this president out of touch with the Americans that are suffering? And isn't it a bad picture that he spends our money? We can't even have the White House open for the little children.
Look, wait a minute. First of all, now you're the defender of government spending. I never thought I'd see that day.
No, I think children should see the White House over him taking another vacation every month.
Wait a minute. Since when does the tax break for corporate jets and airport landing fees count as the hard-suffering Americans?
Excuse me. He's living larger than anybody I've ever seen at a time when 1 in 6 Americans are in poverty and 50 million Americans are on food stamps.
Do you want them to take the bulletproof glass off of Marine One, the helicopter?
No, I want him to
save money.
Look,
come on.
He can. How about he opens up the White House with the money he's going to spend on his next vacation? How's that?
If it's true that he's taken more vacation than George Bush, which I believe it's 1/8, then I agree. He should reduce his vacation.
You don't care about children. You want the children to suffer.
Look, I want the children to go on vacation.
You want the children to go hungry and suffer and not see the people's house.
If he has anything close to the vacation days George Bush had, then you are 100% right. He should reduce that vacation.
I can't find your little statistic talking point that somebody fed you from the White House.
I'm going to give you a tutorial on Google of how you search for it. I'm going to send it to you.
I trust but verify. I'm not buying your phony statistics.
Okay, I do too.
Right.
I do too. I'm going to send it to you.
I can hardly wait. You owe me a steak dinner when you're wrong. All right, I got to roll. Coming up next.